Welcome back to the Shape Up Shack, Freaky Flyers. This week we're sticking with our same under 10-minute training format where we will show you a combination of shapes. I think this is a really good opportunity for people who are in beginner courses, but frankly, you just feel stronger than whatever you're currently being taught, and you want to explore a little bit of options on your own. Last week, I took you into a climb and a genie. This week, I'm going to build on that climb by going into a little bit more of the Fireman sit spin. I'm also going to review a Jamilla as our more complex pose for the week. Before we begin today's really quick shape up, I want to leave you with 2 thoughts and 2 possible exercises to try, both involving some fun little accessories. So this one is usually good to do, especially with a longer stretch band, but if you have a shorter one, I like this. This is great just for kind of making sure that you're keeping those shoulders, warmed up. You're treating those rotator cuffs nicely. And yeah, so I use this tight fitted resistance band to keep the arms in close alignment, almost as though I would have a Pilates ring, which I do have, but I'm not pulling it out today. And I'm just going to rotate the arms into some circles. I'm going to take it in both directions. And you can honestly always plan to do about 5 to 6 reps of any little warm-up exercise, making sure that you're taking each warm-up on both sides, as well as taking each warm-up with the appropriate amount of time and with the appropriate posture, because you would be surprised how often we are warming up improperly and we are just reinforcing really bad habits. Another great one to do if you have this really tight resistance band is just a great little back bridge. And if you want to wrap the hands around, that's what I was doing. You lose the resistance, but you still feel that stretch on the back. You want to keep that resistance. You can do that. Can also, even easier, place the resistance band behind the pole. Make sure that you're fully out. Oh, that is a fantastic one, guys. You should feel a nice little back pop from that one. The next thing is not quite as relaxing or fun, but I do think that it is a great way to build very solid core strength. And I know that it's a practice that many athletes incorporated heavily in the 80s and 90s for training, but I think we just don't use it as much. So before doing a Jamilla, I would warm yourself up with a couple of pole tucks or pole pike lifts. So again, that can just mean bringing knees to chest while holding yourself on the pole, or that can mean bringing your legs into a direct pike while holding yourself on the pole. Adding in these little ankle weights, wrist weights, whatever, again, it's just helping to intensify. So I also just want to get used to a certain motion. You can actually take your tucks in the grip that matches the motion that you're going to do, because again, you're prepping yourself. So I'm just going to do a couple of tucks. They'll almost be like twist tucks, but that's okay. Because again, you're just getting yourself used to pushing out with that bottom arm. And I'll take it on both sides. So I'm going to take my inside arm and I'm going to use that forearm again. That's going to be the strength. If we remember, that is going to be the push ultimately when it's time to get into the air. And I'm going to take this outside arm, which in my case will be my right arm, and I'm going to go ahead and just place it above my head, but not too far. Remember, we kind of want to feel like we're not, overly above the top of our heads. And this is going to represent the pull, because it's going to pull us up, right? If you need to lift up a little bit or just adjust as you go along, feel free to do so. And then again, remember that to create the initial resistance to get yourself up the pole, you're using your legs and your abs here as well. And so again, it's up to you if you prefer a same side, same leg alignment for your entry to the pole, which would mean that you would begin by placing the calf on the left leg or the inside leg on the pole first. Or you can do an opposite resistance, which is what I always enjoy. And that just means that you will begin by placing the outside leg on the pole first with the same focus on the position, having the calf against the pole. From there, I am just going to lean towards the side that I am holding the pole on the forearm with. So, leaning towards the inside in many cases, and that just that little lean itself and this little push off we're going to do on the feet, it's going to give you a little bit of motion that you need to get into the fireman. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. And as I said, this is such a fun, easy one. So you can take it with one arm, you can spin it up a little if you want to do another climb up with the legs. This is also really great practice. We love a fireman spin. I will very quickly do that on my right side. There won't be very many differences, but it is always good to see it on both sides. So same thing here, forearm for the push, top arm for the pull. I'm going to use my opposite leg because I prefer the resistance. I'm leaning into that opposite side because I want to get a little bit of spin for myself on this one, even though we already are on spin. This is how you can give yourself a little more motion. And then I'm just making sure that I'm leaning back enough so that my legs are active, my abs are active. I'm leaning, and I'm firemaning. And again, this is a good case to see how that climb motion happens and how it works like scissors, which I showed you guys in the last one. But again, I'm not going to make you do it. All right, that's it for the fireman spin. If you want to follow up and review the climb video, then as always, it is available for you. Very quickly, going into Jamilla again, starting on my weaker side. So Jamilla is honestly fairly simple. It's kind of like a pole hip hop. Funny, I know. But that is literally a way that you can think about the move. You will essentially hop, lean, place your hip on the pole, and you will place your inside hip and you will have your inside arm instead of it, being placed at the top as with some of our prior moves. This will be facing straight down. I want you guys to think about this somewhat similar to the grip practice that you'll do if you have done an Aisha before. The proper term would be a split grip. So split grip just means that you're essentially like, you're splitting your coverage on that pole. Basically, if I wanted to take this into a little walk, the way I want you guys to have it, I would just do like this. And from here, since I'm already in, I'm going to kind of show you, and I'll go back to the ground very quickly before. But from here, this is exactly how I'm going to get into my Jamilla. So I can take it here, bring these legs over. You can kind of place yourself behind the pole, bring yourself close, and then I'm going to turn in the direction of the hip that I'm going to place on the pole. I'll do that very quickly and static for you as well. You can do a bit of a flare to go in this if you want. Right? Give yourself a cute little spin. And that was on static, as you guys saw. There was actually no spin happening there, but you probably did see a little bit of motion. And again, that just kind of comes from the bounce and the little hop that you do, which again is super easy. So I will do both of these moves one more time for you, and we will wrap.